Give me another round of applause.
You next? I was supposed to do it after you, but I don't even know anymore.
Okay, next we have Allah Madu.
It's me.
You is next.
No, this one.
Yeah. There we go.
Hello, everybody. Shouts to CD, spreading positivity, trying to, put some smiles on people's faces. It's all about that positivity, So, this is first and foremost, I'm not a rapper. I'm not a rapper. I don't see myself becoming a rapper in the future. Although I'm supporting my friends. So Devin, who's
I'm recording.
In the game. Alright, so this is what I wrote. Okay.
You funny?
All I am is a consequence of what I wish to become. Plenty people are pretenders. If you think that I'm one, bring it on and get shocked like electrons. With these irreversible verses able to counter curses and open purses, so let them flow freely. Believe me, simple don't mean easy. Now why do so many fall after hitting their pinnacle? Life's an obstacle of courses. Of course I'm a student. What don't help is pollutant. Stop it before it pollinates on your canvas like splitting blacks and whites. We're not pandas. Can you distinguish our corpse's carcass, madness or madness? I preach what I practice. That's the end of that poem. I'm an avid lover of poetry. I'm an avid reader of poetry. And this is a poem in Arabic that I happen to memorize. It's by an Arab poet who, his name is Antar ibn Shaddad. He was a slave. So culturally, now we're talking about the Oriental culture in Africa. He was a slave to some Arab tribe. His mother was Ethiopian, his father was an Arab, the owner of his mother, so to speak. And after she had him, this guy was a great warrior in the tribe, and they asked him to fight fight for them in a battle, and if he did and helped them win, they will free him. And he gained his freedom by fighting and winning a battle for them. And the Arabs, people don't know, many people don't know this, but the Arabs used to end wars with poetry. They used to have rap battles to end poetry. In the midst of battles and death on all sides, they would just say, you bring your best poet, I'll bring my best poet, let them at it. And the winner determines the winner of the war. And it's all off the top of the head. So these are the origins of rap battles, according to some. So they revered. So poetry had a very high value in that culture, and even in my culture, many cultures that I know of, poetry has a high value. So Antar ibn Shaddad, this warrior who gained his freedom by winning, helping his tribe win a war, he recited this poem in Arabic. حكم سيوفك في رقاب العذل وإذا نزلت بدار ذل وإذا بليت بظالم كن ظالما وإذا لقيت ذوي الجهالة فاجهلي وإذا الجبال نهاك يوم كريهة خوف عليك من ازدحام الجحفل فاعص مقالته ولا تحفل به واقدم إذا حق اللقاء في الأول واختر لنفسك منزلا تعلو به أو مت كريما تحت ظل القصر موت الفتى في عزة خير له من أن يبيت عصير طرف أكهل فالموت لا ينجيك من آفاته حصن ولو شيدته بالجنب وإن كنت في عدد العبيد فهمتي فوق الثريا والسماك الأعزل. It's a long poem, but this is the first third that I just recited to you. You guys are probably wondering, that sounds interesting and all, but what's the meaning behind it? I won't translate all of it, but I'll interpret some of it. So this is a warrior speaking. He starts the poem by saying, حكم سيوفك في رقاب العذل. When you're in the midst of the enemy, or when you're among the enemy, judge with your sword. Let your sword judge. Let your weapon be your judge. Not logic, just the feeling that's expressed through your weapon. Let that be the judge. وَإِذَا نَزَلْتَ بِدَارِ ذِلٍّ فَارْحَلِ. If you were to go into a land or some location, some area, some neighborhood, some city, some town, where the people there are disgraceful people, people of bad character, people who don't meet up to your standards, then leave. You have no business there. وَإِذَا لَقِيتَ ذَوِي الْجَهَالَةِ وَإِذَا بُلِيتَ بِظَالِمٍ كُنْ ظَالِمًا. Now, this is an interesting part. He says, if you encounter an ignorant person, in modern day you would say ignorant, like there's an ignorant person, then there's an ignorant person. If you encounter an ignorant person, show that person that you can be much more ignorant than them. Like, you think you're ignorant? I'm gonna show you what ignorant is. You know, that type of feeling. And وَإِذَا بُلِيتَ بِظَالِمٍ كُنْ ظَالِمًا وَإِذَا لَقِيتَ ذَوِي الْجَهَالَةِ فَاجْهَلِ. If you encounter an oppressor, and or as a good friend of mine showed me a better way to translate, he says a bully, because that's what they would mean. So if you encounter a bully, show that bully that you can be a bigger bully than them. Like, you think you're a bully? I'm gonna show you what bullying is. This is a warrior speaking. So he's all about conflict and resolving conflict. And with regards to conflict, we all have our daily conflicts. You know, just getting up in the morning sometimes, especially when it's cold and you know you're in your sheets so warm, you don't want to get up. You know, and there's other conflicts where some people want to bring you problems. Or if you're an athlete or you're playing in a game, or you might find the other team intimidating or whatever. He's like, وَإِذَا الْجَبَالُ نَهَاكَ يَوْمَ كَرِيهَةٍ خَوْفًا عَلَيْكَ مِنْ ازْدِحَامِ الْجَحْفَلِ. He says, when the time comes for battle or conflict, and you hear the voice of the coward in your ear trying to convince you to cowardice. So the voice of the coward, the voice of cowardice is in your ear trying to convince you to become a coward. He said, don't even pay attention. And instead of even being a little persuaded by that voice, make sure that you are among the first people to go ahead and attack. So, we're all students. For example, instead of, thinking, oh man, maybe I should just take a sick day today. Instead, make sure you're the first student in class. وإذا الجبال نهاك يوم كريهة خوف عليك من ازدحام الجحفل فعش مقالته ولا تحفل به واقترن نفسك منزلا تعلو به. And once you do that, you will gain for yourself a standing that you can brag about even. Right? If the person does not go for the conflict, does not go into the conflict, then you have nothing to say in the future except, I was too scared to go. But if you make yourself among the first to go, you can come back later and say, hey man, I did this and that. This is something I accomplished. Right? أو مت كريما تحت ظل القسطل. He says, or, now this is a warrior speaking. He says, or die with honor, with dignity. So for him, instead of listening to the voice of the coward, if he enters the battle, two things will happen. Either he'll have things, accolades to brag about, bragging rights, true bragging rights, or he'll die a dignified death. And he continues and talks about his aspirations and ambitions, and says that his ambitions are so high they surpass stars or even galaxies. That's how his ambitions are. Instead of being ambitions of something meager, something that will belittle you. Thank you.